Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video we're going to be doing a couple of small jobs on the Cub Cadet original, including refitting the rear hitch system, and thanks to a suggestion from one of my viewers, Trinity, we have something in this box to fit as well. So take your guesses as to what's in the box now. So we're going to start with the hitch, and this hitch, as we've mentioned a couple of times before, is specifically for the UK market to fit auto-colto attachments, which fit into this C-shape bit here with a kind of square block, and then you put a pin through it, and that's how those attachments fit. We're still looking for a 9-inch auto-colto plough to fit this, so if anyone knows of one of those for sale, do let us know. We'd be interested in one to go with this whole setup. And interestingly enough, we did actually measure against the kind of C-shaped bracket of a sleeve hitch attachment, and that is actually a bit bigger than this. So in theory you can use sleeve hitch attachments on this hitch. They might just have a bit of vertical movement, but you could still make it work. Now, the hitch itself needs a couple of things doing to it really. These bits here are a bit misshapen and could do with being put in the press or something just to straighten all of that out. And also this cast part here, which is the only standard Cub bit, the rest of it is for the auto-colto attachment bit. But anyway, this cast bit has the pin part seized into it, unfortunately, so you can't pivot that at all. That needs to be unseized. As we said there, we need to do the reshaping, and otherwise a couple of the mounting points are a bit worn as well, which, before I go on to showing you those, I'll show you something that we've already done to this hitch before this video, which is remove this nail, which someone had put through this hole at the end of the pin instead of a split pin, which is what we've put on there now. Seems to be a common thing here in the UK with tractors that we get, that people just take pins out and stick nails in instead. Not sure why, but they are attracted to ending up in tyres, so taking that out, and that'll be going in the scrap metal bin soon. Now, we won't be able to show you attaching this on video because it's quite a complicated thing, especially when you've got quite a bit of resistive force on those springs. If we show you where or how this mounts, 2 points at the bottom here go to the standard Cub attachment bracket at the bottom here. Then at the top there's 2 holes there. They go onto this cast part here and here. Then this top bit on the cast part goes to the lift bar, and then the part here that holds the springs on doesn't actually bolt on anywhere, it just sits behind this bracket, so you kind of have to lift it up and over and then pull the rest of it down to bolt it into position. And this is the lift bar, which fits on like this. That end it bolts to the lift lever, goes over the back axle, and then attaches to here. So we're going to start assembling all of these bits, and we'll come back to you in a minute to show you how it all works. So we've got the hitch on now, and that wasn't actually too bad once we'd remembered the technique, which was to hook this spring bracket on first, and then push all of this stuff underneath the axle so that the springs were kind of vertical downwards. Then you can actually get these bolts in, otherwise the springs are in the way. So then once we've bolted this on, pull this out again, push it down to kind of lever it to where that's mounted. And then it was just a simple job of bolting the lift bar on, which if I come around here, I will demonstrate all of the wear that's in it. that shouldn't move, but it's in quite a few of the bolt points, especially where they've got the kind of ring parts, the spaces between the bolts and the outer parts, like on here and here. So those are easily replaced. The collars, that's the word I was looking for. So they can easily be replaced to take up some of that movement. And all of this wear and the slight bend in the brackets here suggests that this Cub Cadet hitch is actually very well used at some point in its history. So that's interesting. It's a shame it didn't still have whatever attachment it would have been used with still on it when we got it, but that is the full range of motion we've got on this at the moment. As you might be able to see at the back there, this hits the chassis before the lift lever actually gets to the maximum lift position. So that is the highest that hitch can actually lift to. So we are actually losing range of motion on the downward part, which you can kind of see because that's more or less level. It's actually slightly angled up, which is not what you want in the lowest position. But we'll do the height adjustment stuff once we've got an appropriate attachment for this, because we might be able to move a long one or do some fine adjustment on here. Something like that, but that's further down the line once we actually get an attachment for this. And as you can see, it sticks out plenty out the back, so we might actually get fed up of that being on there. And not sure whether that'll come off again. Just for storage purposes, it shouldn't need to. But if in future we struggle to find an auto-colto plough or something for this, then we may well look into getting a Cub Cadet sleeve hitch. Instead, it won't stick out so much, and then we can fit our sleeve hitch attachments to it in the meantime until we find something auto-colto to go on here. So now onto the cardboard box, and as I said, this item came as a suggestion from one of our viewers, Trinity, who we've been having a nice long email conversation with. And this is something that we tried to find here in the UK and we couldn't, so we've had to import it from America. And if I open this up here, you'll see it is a Cub Cadet seat cover. See, it actually matches the paint very nicely, and there's multiple advantages of having one of these, especially here in the UK. Is it's very cold a lot of the time, so sitting on a metal pan seat isn't particularly comfortable, and this one specifically isn't very comfortable because of the rust patch that's on there. So if we can cover that up, then it'll be more comfortable and it'll look better. And this seat cover does look very good with the paint from what I can see already. So now to give it a go, I pull it out of the packaging here. Now before we fit this permanently, we will actually cover up this rust so that it doesn't do any damage to the seat cover, because that is the last thing we want to happen. However, see if I can fit this on here now. So. Goes on there. Something like that. I think that needs pulling down further, but it's certainly getting there. So that is the seat cover pulled on there roughly now. When we fit it permanently, you pull the drawstrings, that tightens up all of this kind of edge seam part and tightens it up nicely under the seat so that that's all on there nice and tight. And now for the important part, which is to try it. And for those watching at home, safety announcement, don't climb onto hydraulic workbenches, especially when you're putting more weight on one side than the other. But there we are, that's nice. Nice and cushioned, much better than just sitting on the normal pan seat. So we're happy with how this fits, and I think it probably fits better now that I've sat on it, and that's probably the point at which we should zip it up to keep it tight. Only downside is, shouldn't have sat in it on it in my overalls because it's a bit mucky now. That's easily cleaned. Now, for getting other seat covers for other Cub Cadets or possibly other tractors, namely a Boland's Ride-a-matic, which is something we'd really like to do, instead of shipping them over from America, which was pretty expensive, we'd quite like to be able to get this one copied if possible. One of the main possible challenges there is that the Cub Cadet seat is different to the pan seat on a Boland's Ride-a-matic, so we're actually going to try this on the Ride-a-matic now, on the 1962 here, which is covered in mud, because the cameraman's been using it quite frequently, and yeah, the seat gets very cold, so I'm sure he'd very much like a seat cover on that. By the looks of it here, that does actually fit, and if I kind of test tightening it up, that looks to me as if it would probably work on this seat as well. So we've been poking about with this seat a bit, and we're actually very happy with how this fits. It might even fit better than it did on the Cub Cadet seat. Not too sure, but either way it fits well, so we're happy about that. There's only one more type of tractor that we would need to test with pan seats, and that would be our wheel horse Suburbans. However, they are pretty similar pan seats to the Ride-a-matic here, so that shouldn't be an issue. So what we're going to do now here is take this off, give it a clean, because it has got a bit of muck on it now. Easily seen, seeing as this is like very pure white colour. And once we've done that, we're going to make some inquiries locally to see whether we can find anyone that might be able to reproduce these seat covers from this one, using this one as a pattern ideally, and see if we can get some made up here in this country. Now obviously we need to work out firstly whether people can do that. I mean, to us this doesn't look too complex, but material work is not our trade at all, so we can't really comment. The only issue might be there if people have to take this one apart to see how it's made to then reproduce it. I'm not sure how we'd feel about that, because obviously we want this intact for show season so that we can put it on the Cub Cadet. Another thing we need to think about is cost, whether the cost of getting a pattern or something made up is worth it compared to the price of just shipping them from America. And also colours, because obviously this colour scheme works for a Cub Cadet, the yellow on white. Not too sure about a Boland's, I don't think this suits very well. But one of our 1962 Boland's Ride-a-matics, the red one, actually has an original seat cover on there, and that is a kind of off-white colour. Not sure if that was like that from the factory or whether the use of it over the last 60 years and the kind of sun exposure has dulled that from being a more pure white like this, or whether it was like a wheel colour cream. Not too sure about that. So we'll make some inquiries there as well. A 1960 Ride-a-matic would look quite good with this kind of yellow and green. Not sure whether the yellow would go there or the green would go there, or how we do that. It's another thing to think about. And then just a basic red on white for the wheel horse Suburbans, and that's if we decide to put these seat covers on all of the tractors with metal seat pans. But at the same time, that would be quite a big improvement, I think, for the usability of the tractors. So we'll be making those inquiries now, and then either way, whether we manage to get some made up for other tractors or not, this will be going on the Cub Cadet original here, and that will look very good come show season. So we are very happy with our seat cover. Let us know what you think of it and our ideas about reproducing them, and what colours you think would go well with our other tractors. But that is it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.